Hi, I'm Frank Jones, founder of Freedom Electric Marine and co-inventor of the twin troller X10. The X10 is one of the most versatile boats on the market, and it's got several setups that allow you to fish anywhere from small farm ponds, which are kind of hard to access sometimes because they don't have a ramp, etc. This thing rolls right in on a primitive ramp or right off the bank, right on up to larger bodies of water where you can fish the coves and the protected areas of large reservoirs. And a lot of our boats are purchased and used in coastal flats down around the coast, literally all the way around the country. So what we want to do is go over the four kind of standard setups on how the boat is set up and how you properly load the boat in order to make sure you get the most out of your experience with a twin troller. What I want to talk to you about today is how versatile your boat is and all the different configurations and places you can go when operating your boat. So that'll be in larger bodies of water with a Honda outboard, like you see the boat here behind me. It'll be both by yourself and with your buddy. We'll talk about weighting and where you position the items in your boat. And then we'll go to the smaller water, solo and out with your buddy type setup, just so you better understand and get the most value and most enjoyment out of your twin troller. So let's start with this setup behind me, which is what I call the adventure package, which is a trailer, of course, the X10 Deluxe, which I've modified slightly with a different depth finder. That's not part of this video. And it's got the Honda outboard on it. So if you're out, this is a setup as if you're out with two people. So I'm gonna walk around the boat and kind of show you how it's set up. So first and foremost, you wanna make sure you got proper weight distribution. So as you see the boat here, the first front seat is all the way forward. So they're sitting forward and their weight is forward. That's not proper weighting, because what will happen is the back of the boat will go down and the front will come up. So you want to make sure the front person in the front is forward. The foot controls, there's multiple positions. They're in the front position. Now you have the option of being in the back, but we're going to show them in the front right now. Next thing I want to talk about a little bit about is the if you use this is one of our custom live wells, and so the proper position of this always, no matter where you're sitting, is for this one to be about halfway under the front seat so that the opening is out. So when you catch your fish, you want to put them in a live well, you throw them in there, you can put the lid back in it. This leaves foot position for the person in the back. So in this particular situation, I kind of outfitted with what I bring with me when I go to a larger body of water. And I don't have them with me, but I usually have 4 rods, 2 on each side. I have a larger tackle box, which I'm going to raise up and show you. So it's a tackle box, and it probably weighs about 15 pounds. But I stick that under my legs there, and I'm a soft plastics guy. So this box right here, this bag, only has soft plastics in it, and I set it right behind the live well. So I want, again, it's all about weight distribution when you got 2 people in the boat. So moving to the back, when you set up and you've got the outboard with you, you want to position this back seat slightly forward so it gives you enough room to turn and reach back and control the outboard. Likewise, it puts weight a little bit forward because now you've got an outboard here as extra weight, and of course you've got a 60-pound battery here, which I use a Series 29, but that thing weighs about 60 pounds, so it's all concentrated on the back. So again, we're trying to level load the boat. You want to be yourself in about this position. Again, a good test for you is to be able to turn around, reach around, and be able to turn this. So that's how it's set up when I'm in the boat. We've got I've actually, in this one, to demonstrate, sometimes I'll take 2 batteries depending on how big a lake I'm on. So there's another 60 pounds here. It's so important to level load the weight on this boat. Again, got one of my little tackle box here. A fully loaded live well is about 100 pounds. So you want that underneath you in the front as well as the individual in the front. And that way this boat will stay flat. The further you move that weight back, the higher the tilt. And that's not a desirable position for any boat, not alone the twin troller, when you're out on use. So the next setup we're going to talk about, which really kind of, we're going to get in the easy part, if you will. If you're out by yourself in the boat, how you set it up, and where you'd want to position the items on the boat. We've just finished talking about how you set the twin troller up for the adventure package with 2 people in the boat and trying to level load the weight. Well, many times I go out by myself, and you'll find out you'll enjoy the boat and want to do the same yourself. So I've set this boat up now as if I was going out by myself with a larger body of water. I'll fish the coves and the protected areas. That's why we call them small and protected areas. And so what we did was we moved that back seat to the middle of the boat, and then we took that live well, when I do take it, and shoved it back towards the middle. So one thing I really want to point out is this live well always sits about halfway underneath this seat. You notice when we set it up before, it was forward, now we slid it back. Again, it's all about balance on this boat. In this configuration, 95% of the people, it doesn't matter if you're 100 pounds or 500 pounds, the boat will sit level when it's in this position. So you'll see there's some extra room here. This is where my fishing position is. So obviously when I want to use the outboard, I'll stand up and push this back, and then it allows me to turn and operate the outboard. So you've got full flexibility forward and backwards. But this is the 95% location when you're by yourself in the adventure package to get a balanced boat. Now we've gone over the use of the live well and where it's located with 1 or 2 people in it. It doesn't change if you don't have the outboard, so I'm going to remove it, and then we'll talk about what I'm going to call small water, true small water angling, which is if you've got access to waters like this, and most of us do, this is about a 7-acre pond behind me, how I would set this up, and not only how, but how I do set it up when I'm out on a body of water like this. Okay, let's go over setup number 3, and this is a really easy one. If you're out by yourself, you're going to drop your boat in any kind of small body of water. You know, the great thing about the twin troller is all you need is a primitive ramp, or just going through a cow pasture like I do when I get on this lake behind me. But you want to set the boat up so, again, you're balanced and it's level. That allows you to go in the shallowest amount of water. With me, it's about 6.5 inches of water. And it also allows you that full flexibility to rotate the boat in any way you want to, no matter where the wind's blowing, etc. So the setup is very simple. Took one seat out like we did before with the other setup, and put this thing in the middle just like we did before. What we did was we moved all the extra weight and the stuff off the back end. So no Honda. We've got our Series 29 battery in the back. Got the seat positioned here. As you've seen from the twin troller, it's got multiple foot positions here. The pedals are in the furthest back front slot, and your knees should be slightly behind your ankles. So when you sit in here, all you do is you put your feet on the pedals, toes down it goes forward, heels down it goes backwards. That's all it is. I usually, when I'm in it myself, I put my soft plastics in front and my larger tackle box right underneath my my seat. So there you go, full. I'm a catch and release guy when I'm in this configuration, so I'm not worried about a live well, etc. I just go out and have a good time. So great, literally this is my favorite setup. I go in so many different places that I never see any other people in with the boat set up like this, and you get in, Series 29 lasts you all day. So let's go to the final setup, which is essentially the same thing, only we're going to add another person to the boat. So here we are with the final setup. So small body of water, or nice good sized municipal lakes, usually up to about 100 acres. My favorite fishing buddy is my father, who's 81 years old. This is how we go when I invite him fishing. He always likes to outfish me, so I don't invite him a whole lot. That's an inside joke. But you'll notice what we've done is we've added a second seat to it, and we brought the seat all the way back. So what we wanted to do is get as much space between the front and the back. This front position is now all the way forward so that I can reach the foot controls. I'm actually a little bit, that's better. So now I'm configured, so now my weight's in the front, my fishing buddy's weight in the back, and what I love about this is I love to stand up and cast standing up so I can pitch underneath things. And so what it does is Your fishing buddy in the back, he can stand right up. He's got foot space there. Little tackle box tucked underneath. My larger tackle box is tucked underneath here. Again, 85% of the time, 90% of the time I'm in the boat, my feet are on the pedals, but when they're not, I can put my feet right down, stand up, and do anything I want to from a casting, pitching, fishing standpoint. So what we've done is tried to show you all the different configurations and the proper way to set the boat up. Loading and loading balance is so important with the twin troller, and so one of the things, the takeaways is, if you're in this boat, you want to make sure you've got enough weight forward so that your nose isn't up in the water. So especially when you've got the outboard on there. But that's really the close to this, is we've got 4 different ways and 4 proper ways to set the boat up, and for you to get the maximum enjoyment out of it. So you've seen all the different setups and the versatility of the X10. This boat is by far the most versatile small boat on the market, and we call it small and protected waters because this boat will allow you to fish in small ponds like this, which is about 5 acres, but I often take it in the adventure setup and I haul it down to a larger reservoir, launch, and enjoy all the great fishing in those kind of places. So thanks for your interest, and we'd love to make you an owner.